Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. And yes, it is time, baby. Time for the best that we can do for 2020. Hard to believe that we have anything that was really good in 2020.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all debatable.
Yeah. This, though, is classic. This could be one that we'll play from time to time just because, hey, it features our buddy Shaggy. It happened back in February of this year because Shaggy, well, he somehow questions our punctuality when we play Beat Miggs while we're talking about him paying child support. What was your biggest waste of money? Let's go to Shaggy on Camino Island. Shaggy, you are on the rock.
Good morning, DJ.
Morning, Shaggy. What was your biggest waste of money?
Well, I've been planning this trip to go to Belize on a rock and roll cruise ship, all 80s rock bands.
Okay.
Tesla headline and all that. And they're leaving today, but I put it down $2,000, and they won't give me a passport. Oh. So
why wouldn't they give you a passport?
Today.
Oh, the government won't give you a passport.
No, the state of Washington.
Why?
Well, that's okay. So why won't the state?
If you owe $1 in child support, you don't get a passport.
Oh,
did you say it wasn't me?
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I put all that money, dude. They're leaving this morning. Right now, I would be on a plane to Miami right now.
I was just hoping for an opportunity to use a bad Shaggy joke.
Yeah, that was a good
deal,
one.
Huh?
Yeah,
it's a super bummer deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just standing out in the rain and the snow here. That could be in Belize.
Shaggy, how much money?
Oh, man.
Now, here's the thing.
Sucks.
We're feeling bad about Shaggy, but am I going to be the douche here?
Be the douche.
I'm going to be. How much money do you owe in child support, Shaggy?
I'm down to like $8,000 now.
Dude.
Wait, so you were going to drop $2,000 when you owe $8,000 to child support?
It's all back government support.
Yeah, but Shaggy, you owe that money, right?
Well, technically, yeah. You know, what's so funny, man?
Dude, you don't think that I don't know if it's kid or county kids you supporting?
It's just a long story, dude. It's way too long a story to even get into.
Wait. That doesn't mean you can't answer the question. How many kids are you supporting? That's not a long story. Do you not know how many kids?
Well, evidently, I'm supporting all three of them because I'm paying my child support. I pay every month, dude. I haven't missed a payment in 10 years.
All right. So, but how did you get down $8,000 then?
It was from when they were first born.
You weren't paying. Oh, so you hadn't paid then.
My son that I owes child support on his kid.
That doesn't really make that you spending $2,000. So Shaggy, here's the Shaggy. How old are you?
Why are you busting me up like this, PJ?
Because Shaggy, you're old enough that you know what? Someone's got to tell you what's up, dude. You know you got this hanging over your head, and either A, you hire a lawyer to get it fixed, or B, pay it off. But you can't be mad at the government for basically doing something that you knew or either you were ignorant about. But you dropped $2,000 that could have at least gone to paying off that child support. It makes you look like kind of an idiot. And again, I'm telling you, brother, because you and I are old enough, we shouldn't be making these mistakes in life anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, everybody's situation is different, BJ, and
that's an excuse, Shaggy.
I think you're way off base here, bud.
Shaggy, how am I way off base? You owe $8,000 in child support, and you just lost $2,000 because you didn't have a brain in your head to see if, in fact, you could get a passport, or B, you didn't care and hoped you could get a passport. Why am I way off base by not saying a man who is, I'm assuming, in his 50s should have a little bit more clarity? Who's going to tell you this?
How's about this, BJ? How come when you say that Beat Miggs is at 647, it's always at 653?
It's a solid point.
You guys are late every day. I turn that thing on at 647 and you got the commercial on.
Yeah.
Every day.
Burn.
Every day, BJ.
So, Shaggy, how's that working for you, that rather than answering your own questions, you just ask other questions and basically deflect? How's that working for you?
Oh, man, I don't know, dude. I think you got your head up your ass, to tell you the truth.
Well, you know what? They say that
what are you going to do, BJ?
They say that when we speak, we're actually giving advice to ourselves. So, Shaggy, I will agree with the advice that you've given yourself.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, there you go.
Signs everywhere.
647 is 647, BJ.
You know what, Shaggy?
647 is 647.
Yeah, and remember, 8,000 is 8,000, Shaggy.
Yes, I understand this.
I think they both are it's apples to apples.
Oh, you think it's apples to apples?
I think we're both wrong, bud.
Listen, Shaggy, I agree with you.
And you know what? Both of you are not going on the 80s rock cruise.
Right. And you know what, Shaggy? I'd be happy to agree that I'm wrong.
The way I wanted to start my day, getting chewed out by BJ.
Well,
and missing the song signs everywhere.
All right, hold on, Shaggy.
Well, how's about this? I got Motley Crue tickets and I still owe child support.
Yeah, I'll show them.
Hey, Shaggy, have you ever listened to my show before? What did you expect when you call in sounding like a moron? You don't think I'm going to chew you out?
I didn't sound like a moron.
Oh, you know what? And you you throw your own kid under the bus because, well, he learned it from watching you. I mean, seriously, what kind of role model have you been to anybody at all in your life? A $2,000 moron is what you are. What I mean,
man, you're a real prick, you know that?
Yeah, well, somebody's got to tell you this. Apparently, nobody did that cares about you, Shaggy.
No, they don't need to tell me.
Whoa. Well, did he swear? All right, goodbye, Shaggy.
We had all year. But this is the best that we could do for 2020. BJ and Migs Mornings, 99.9 KISW.
Jinky Scoop. And to this day, if we're ever late, there's always a text that comes in saying justice for Shaggy.
Exactly. I love it.
Oh, man. It is the best that we can do for 2020. And back in October, sadly, we lost Eddie Van Halen. And Craig Gass joined us to share some stories about his friend.
BJ, today we are celebrating the life of Eddie Van Halen, and our next guest spent some time living with Eddie. It's an incredible story. Please welcome to the show our good friend, Craig Gass.
Craig, welcome back, buddy.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Oh, I mean, considering, I really want to be in a celebratory mood. We don't do that enough anymore when we lose people, and I think that was something we used to do. We didn't get so maudlin. We celebrated somebody's great life, especially if they really had an impact and they were fun and they did something amazing. And I want to be that way as you, Craig. We talk about this anyway. You are the Forrest Gump of rock because somehow you're always showing up in these luminaries' lives, and of course, you were in Eddie Van Halen's life, and he was in your life, and we thought we would talk to you because obviously this is going to be definitely a tough day for you, but I hope one that you can celebrate as well. The idea that you got to be with somebody who was so amazing like Eddie.
Yeah, it was a strange thing where this guy who I was a fan of and loved as a fan ended up bringing me into his life and letting me live with him, which is still surreal. Those experiences that I had. And the way that it happened was I was at a concert in LA one night. It was in 2002, and a guy was introducing me to all these music industry people, and at one point said, "Oh man, I'm going to introduce you to this guy. Oh, this guy. Okay, he lives with one of the biggest rock stars on the planet, but don't tell him I told you that." And he introduces me, and the guy says he knows me. He's a fan of my work. And I said, "Oh, no way." So we were talking, we hit it off, and we exchanged phone numbers. And I invited him to go bowling a week later. And he said, "Yeah, man, I'm totally down. Hey, is it cool if I bring my friend Ed with me because I've been telling him about you and he's dying to meet you? And I said, yeah, I don't care. And he goes, okay, because he has a kid and his kid's 12. So, and I was like, dude, it's bowling. Who cares? And he showed up to the bowling alley with Eddie Van Halen.
Whoa. My friend Ed. That's Ed. And then, of course, the kid's Wolfie. That's just nuts.
And come to find out that this guy, Matty, is Eddie Van Halen's assistant. He lives on the property in a guest house, and he runs the 5150 Studios. And he's such a fan of the show that I was on at the time that he would get up every morning at 5 a.m. and just listen to me on the air for 5 hours a day. And when I started appearing on this radio show, he started telling Eddie, like, oh, my God, there's this new guy on the show who does a Sam Kinison impression. And then a week later, oh, my God, that same guy does a Paul Stanley impression. And then a week later, the guy does a Lars Ulrich impression, and on and on. So at the bowling alley, Eddie Van Halen is telling me my life story to me, including a story that I told on the air about how I've been broke my whole life. And all I've ever wanted, once I started making money doing stand-up, all I ever wanted to own was an illegal cable box. That's all I've ever wanted, is one of those.
I remember those
illegal
boxes.
Yeah, they unscramble all the channels. And Eddie Van Halen at the bowling alley, and he's smoking, by the way. You're not supposed to be smoking in the bowling alley. He's talking to me and going, dude, I heard you were broke your whole life. Me too. And you know what's crazy? I heard a story about you, that you always wanted an illegal cable box. He goes, that's crazy, because, and he looked both ways and he went, I got an illegal cable box too. And I was like, really? Dude, you're Eddie Van Halen. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, the thing is, I'm rich, but don't want to pay for cable. And I was like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? And then over the course of the next year and a half, I have this bizarre friendship with Maddie and Ed, where I would go over there and I'd hang out specifically at the recording studio, and we would just hang out. And I ended up in a really bad relationship that ended horribly one night. And I called Maddie in a lot of pain, and I said, man, you're not going to believe what happened to me tonight. And I'm telling him, and he said, hold on, Ed wants to talk to you. And Ed got on the phone and said, dude, I told you she was a whore. And I go, yeah, I know. But I mean, and he goes, dude, and you're living with her. Why are you living with her? And I said, she's the only person I know in Los Angeles besides you guys. She's the only person I know. That's why I'm living with her. And he said, dude, pack up your stuff and move in with me. And I said, is that okay? I can stay at your place? He goes, yeah. He goes, dude, you can stay in the recording studio. The only thing is, don't tell anybody, but the band's getting back together, so it's going to be noisy at night. And I was like, okay.
That is insanity. And we're talking to Craig Gass as he is telling us about the time he lived with Eddie Van Halen, and so he has you move into the recording studio.
As you move into the recording studio, and gave me a heads up that the only thing I needed to worry about was the fact that Van Halen was going to be playing in the next room.
That's the funniest part. Like, hey, sorry, we're going to be loud, but it's Van Halen, so I hope you're okay with that. Like, yeah, I'm going to be awake listening.
That's insane.
And it was weird because I was trying to have a life. I'm trying to live like a normal life as a newly single guy, but I'm living with this super successful, very introverted, and very, he lived a hermit life existence, and he has me on the inside of his life now. And I remember meeting a girl who, at a Metallica concert at the Forum, who texted me at like midnight after the concert and said, hey, do you want me to come over? And I said, yeah. You know what? Okay, let me ask. I said, I'll call you back. And she got really freaked out because she was like, oh, you have a girlfriend. And I said, no, I do not have
something cooler.
Yeah. I live in a very unusual circumstance. Let me ask, and I'll call you back. And I found Ed, and I was like, hey, Ed, I don't know if this is okay, and if it's not, totally fine. But I met this really amazing girl tonight, and she wants to come over, and is it okay to bring somebody? I can keep her up at the studio. And Ed said, dude, get some. And I was like, okay, cool. So I call her up and I tell her to meet me at the bottom of Coldwater Canyon. There's a Ralph's right there at Ventura and Coldwater Canyon. I told her to leave her car there.
What?
And
So
she's
amazing.
peppering me with questions like, why do you need permission to have me come over to your house? And I said, I just live in a really unusual circumstance. And then I take her through the back gate because there's 2 gates to get in, and the back gate was next to the studio. And I opened the door to the 5150 studios. She walks in first. I haven't told her what's going on yet. And when she walks in, she goes, Jesus, is your friend like the biggest Van Halen fan on the planet or what? Yeah. And
Kinda.
She starts to notice stuff on the walls like, how do you get something like that? And I finally had to go, do you hear the noise in the next room? That's Van Halen. This is Eddie Van Halen's house, and he's letting me stay here until I get back on my feet. And she went, oh, okay. And to answer your next question that every guy asks, the answer is 2 minutes. It took 2 minutes from that point. So I know that was Vicky. I know that was Vicky responding to that.
What song was playing while that was going on?
Well, unfortunately for my excitement, hopefully it was just a solo because it didn't last long. But
By eruption.
Nice.
We watched hours and hours of YouTube video tutorials. But this is the best that we could do for 2020. BJ and Migs Mornings, 99.9 KISW.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. The best that we could do for 2020. And we've received a few requests to hear the time that Migs sang a song for a celebrity that once told him to F off.
Oh, which time was that?
Oh, yeah. It's a very specific time. We're going to do that at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs Mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Everything is better electrified. Like the guitar, toothbrushes, or cars. And Hyundai has the widest range of electrified vehicles on the market, including the first ever Tucson and Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. You can use electric when you want it or gas when you need it. It's your journey. Evolve it beyond the pump in the 2022 Tucson or Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer or learn more at HyundaiUSA.com. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It is the best that we can do for 2020. And back in June, Steve wrote a song for a man that once told a young Steve to F off. Yes.
It's a special song.
It's a special song that Steve wrote for Billy Joel.
Somebody has a question about music. Also, it says, Migs, did you see that Billy Joel just shared a song about some guy that some guy wrote about him? He put it up on Twitter. How cool is that? I challenge you to write a song about Billy Joel and the time that he told you to F off.
What would be great is if indeed you did that and he tweeted back, F off, kid.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so incredible. That'd be the greatest thing ever.
Especially if, you have the story somehow in there. I bet Billy Joel he would laugh at that. I bet he might even respond to you if he knew that.
I think it depends on the day.
I mean, he's an older man now. He's probably a little bit more chilled and relaxed. I mean, I am, if you call me.
How would you feel if somebody said, hey, back in the day, I was 6, and you told me to F off when you were getting off a plane.
Remember, though, Charles Lacquadera, when we had him on?
Yeah.
And we told him and he basically admitted he had a blow habit, and that's why he was so mean to me when I was
awesome. Billy Joel's like, look, kid, I did a lot of cocaine back in the 80s. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a really cool moment. I was like, wow, Charles, I really had no idea that was the issue. I thought I was really bad at my interview, which I probably was.
So the guy, we got this text earlier, so I've spent some time working on a song.
Oh, you actually did do this?
Well, he asked that I write a song about my time that Billy Joel told me to F off outside.
True. So you did do this.
So quick backstory.
Okay.
When I was a kid, we were waiting to pick up my uncle. He was coming back from Club Med, which is totally, I don't know if anyone even knows what that is, but it was totally like a vacation spot. And getting off the plane at the same time was right before my uncle, so we're waiting, is Billy Joel. And I'm a little kid, and I loved Billy Joel. And I'm like, holy crap, that's Billy Joel. So I go running over to him just to say hi, trying to get an autograph, whatever. And he just looks at me, and you could tell he was just drained. And he just was not feeling it. And he just looks at me, and I'll never forget this. And he just goes, hey, F off, kid. And I just had to walk back with the tail between my legs. So what happened? Did you get the autograph? No, he told me.
He told me to blank off.
He told me to F off. And my family thought that was so funny. Oh. And honestly, looking back on it, I'm so glad I didn't get the autograph. I would have lost the autograph. I will never forget that moment that Billy Joel.
It's a great story.
Told me to F off.
I want you to be able to tell him that someday.
Yes.
So for whatever he's doing, if he's ever doing anything, I don't care if he's right for our format or not. We have to have him on just so you can tell him that story.
Easily.
Yeah.
So, I might not be able to tell him in person, but I'm ready to sing him a song about that experience.
Maybe this will finally get it. You tweet this to Billy Joel, this song you're singing, and maybe he'll finally interact with you.
So, Reverend, I found a very generic piano and drum song.
Oh, okay, good.
And I'm going to do it live for you, BJ.
You're going to do it live?
Well, not the piano playing part.
Okay.
That's been recorded.
You're going to sing, right?
All right. I didn't really practice this. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not surprised. I don't think it would have helped.
All right, Rev, hit it. All right, is everyone in the mood?
Oh, I'm ready. I feel it. I'm ready. Tickle those ivories.
This song is for you, Billy Joel. I saw you a long time at an airport. Both you and my uncle were returning from Club Med. You were getting off a plane trying to go home. And little Steve here just wanted to say hi to Billy Joel. I said, Billy, can I have your autograph? You said while walking, hey, F off, kid. The piano man said, hey, F off, kid. The piano man told me to F off. The piano man said, hey, F off, kid. Billy Joel was a dick to me.
Oh, my God. I can't breathe. Are you really going to tweet that? You've got to tweet that to him.
Tweet it at him.
I'm
going to. I'm going to.
Tweet it at him. Okay, we'll see if Billy Joel responds to this.
It was better when I practiced it, but
No, that's magnificent. No, that's beautiful. I think Billy's going to realize the talent, also realize what he did to you, such a talent.
Somebody said, yikes. I think I would agree. That's the best review of that song.
Yikes.
We really tried. Really. But this is the best that we could do for 2020. BJ and Migs Mornings, 99.9 KISW.
So we said we would, tweet it at Billy Joel, see what happened. Here we are months later.
Yes.
Do we have an update? Did it?
He never replied. I think he blocked us, actually.
That was a heartwarming song and story about a little boy's dreams crushed. You think that Billy Joel could have actually done a 2.0. You know what I mean? Could it really? You really could admit it happened.
And I feel like I was inspired by my young ways, and that was the talent that I had for writing that song.
Could have been a web
childish,
and it
didn't work out.
No.
Maybe I need to write another song.
I think you have to.
Yes.
Maybe if you keep peppering him with songs, he will be forced to at least respond.
Put out an entire record, a bad one by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well,
an entire record of me just addressing the time that Billy Joel told me to F off. It's got to the point now, one of my buddies, Christian Andes, who's a wrestler around here, he heard the story, and now whenever he sees any random Billy Joel thing, he sends it to me. He's just like, hey,
awesome.
What does this make you think of?
See, that's the thing. That's why I think if Billy Joel had anybody really who was operating that page, that would be a great opportunity to reconnect with that little 7-year-old kid that got told to F off.
I'm persistent. You don't quit your day job. No, wow. This is Al Pacino's greatest hits album from Jake from Potsdam. Hey. I don't know what I was trying to do with that voice.
It did a great job.
So breathy.
Try to sing and you can be Al Pacino, apparently.
I blame the music. It was a bad song choice.
Yeah, it was
bad piano work.
I gotta find a better band.
That's what it, that'll do the trick. Sure it will. It is the best that we could do for 2020. And back in April, Juan calls in to brag about all the sex he's having. So we've got half Americans saying that during this lockdown, they're cooking more because of the lockdown. Based on this, finish his sentence. Because of the lockdown, I am doing way more blank. Let's go to Juan in Lakewood. Juan, you are on the rock.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Juan. Welcome to the show. What you got for us, buddy?
Oh, well, I'm having a lot more sex.
Whoa! No. So for half a second, I was like, is this Vicky's dad? Because his name's Juan. And I'm like, no, that's probably not the answer that your dad would say.
Oh, God. No, I'm serious.
So
I believe you.
Are you married, or are you like, is there a girlfriend? Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm married. But when I work, maybe if I'm lucky, I get it 3 times a week. If I'm lucky. And now lately, it's been almost every day.
You know, like married dudes are like, if you're lucky, that sounds like...
Yeah, 3 times a week is a pretty good number, brother.
Yeah, it's awesome right now, but I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Have there been like multiple sessions in a day, too?
Yeah, we send our son outside to play.
Time to make a new son.
Wow, Juan, that's pretty... And how old are you, sir, if you don't mind me asking?
42.
42? And look at you. That is your wife about the same age?
No, she's younger. She's 35.
Nice. There you go.
Nice one.
Yeah. Well, they say this is her time. They say that's when the female sex drive is at its best, is right around where she's at.
Well, keep it coming.
As it were. Yeah.
You're the man, dude. That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, good job, buddy.
See, good things are coming because of this. As it were. Happening.
Yeah, there we go.
I know he's not my dad, but all I pictured was my dad saying these things, and I'm just like, oh,
me
God.
too.
No.
It's very possible, Vicky. I don't know if you know this, but your parents have sex, Vicky. I don't know if you know this.
This is the best that we could do for 2020. BJ and Migs Mornings, 99.9 KISW.
Like the man says, it is the best that we can do for 2020. And back in June, we have an interesting chat with a listener named Aaron. How about you? What is something about you that makes you unique? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Aaron in Paulsbo, you are on the rock.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Aaron. Welcome to the show. What about you makes you unique?
Hey, I play with dead people, and I am not a mortician.
That is a hell of a headline. I have to tell you that right now.
I hope that's the top line on your Tinder profile.
You play with dead people, but you're not a mortician. All right, I'm sure there's plenty of other professions out there. What do you do, or do we have to call the authorities?
Do you work at an old age home?
Well, I kind of already work for the authorities, sort of. I am a volunteer for search and rescue. So I play hide and seek with dead people. I hide body parts, and then I take my canines out to go find them. I am a canine cadaver trainer.
Oh, whoa.
You know, I would have, if you said guess what that mean, I would have never guessed that was what you do.
First of all,
like that is incredible.
Aaron, I have to say, great job, because the way you started and then even the beginning of to get to the end of exactly what you do, it made me think like we are talking to somebody who is a serial killer, and then it turns out, oh, wow, you've got a really very fascinating job.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I mean, that's...
It is.
How did you...
It's fun.
So you say you're a volunteer. How did you find your way into doing something like this?
I don't know. I used to be a billing, collections, and fraud auditor, and I got tired of people getting mad at me and calling me names, so I'd rather get bit than be called names. So I went into search and rescue, and I figured, you know what, they can walk 10 times further than I can and cover more land, so why not use a canine so that I don't have to go hike so far? And started out with lifeline search and rescue and tracking.
So
found out that the police academy has a canine.
So that's the thing. So your job is to basically teach the dogs how to go look for dead bodies, and that way you can release them into the hills, and they'll find them for you, and then somehow you'll be able to figure out they found them.
Right. And if you're ever going to rob my house, make sure you don't rob the freezer because you might not be getting the correct rump roast that you were wanting.
Wait, so you're just keeping like dead body parts in your freezer?
Well, how else do you think we find dead people?
Well, I don't know. I figured like you keep them at the office.
That's the greatest line ever. What are you, stupid, Steve?
I don't know. I wouldn't keep them next to like my frozen pizza.
Yeah,
my ice cream.
Do you live alone or do you have a family? And how do they feel about how do they feel about Swanson's frozen Fred?
Well, yes, I do have a husband, and he carries my can of dead dude out and hides it for me.
I love this whole thing. This is fantastic.
Hey, babe, where's the ice cream? Oh, it's underneath Fred's leg.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Actually, they're named George and Georgia because I have male and female.
Oh, very cool. Wow.
And they have their own freezer. Oh, yes, they have their own freezer, and there's a lock on the freezer.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, that makes me feel a little better about that.
So do you have to reward the dog how is it when training the dog? Do you have like a bunch of treats, and when it finds like the body part, you're like, oh, good dog?
Yeah, how we train them is we tape their toys and we scent their toys with the odor. So I call it can of dead dude, because I don't know whether it's a girl or a boy. I do in the freezer, but when they're put out, I don't know what they are.
Oh, that's good. So you know no gender. It's an equal opportunity of dead dude. Okay.
Correct. Yes, we know no gender. We know no status in life. We know nothing about that. When my son helps me make the cans of dead dude, it's called training material in the professional life, but we're on.
And you dip the dog toys in the can of dead dude and then hide the toys.
No, we don't feed our dogs dead dude.
Well, that's what. Well, you in other words, you get them so they have the odor of it. Somehow you put the odor of dead dude on there. Well, then what do you do with the can of dead dude? How do you get the odor of the dude onto the toy?
Okay, you know how when you cut up an onion and you put it in the refrigerator, you go eat your cheese and it tastes like onion?
Oh, so you put the toys with the dudes.
We put a can of dead dude in a big Tupperware, and trust me, it's an airtight Tupperware. They're not cheap. We put the can of dead dude in the Tupperware, and the lid has holes in it, so that the odor can come out. And then we line the inside of the Tupperware with the dog's toys, and then put the lid on.
Oh, man. And so,
a random question.
This is really amazing.
When you show up to a person that you really don't know to their party and someone asks what you do for a living, are you then stuck spending the entire time sharing these stories? Because I would not leave your side if I was at a party and someone told me that this is what they did for a living. I would be fascinated by everything that's going on in your world.
Yeah, I do. And the other thing is everybody asks me how to keep their dog from getting on the table and how do I train my dog? It's like free dog training.
Yeah. Well, what you need is a freezer full of dead dudes, and then I'll tell you how to get your dog to do what you need it to do. Wow,
Exactly.
Aaron, that is awesome. I appreciate the
incredible story.
That is a very, very good guy. Aaron wins. I mean, whatever we have, she wins.
We have some dog toys.
We ate right and exercised. But this is the best that we could do for 2020. BJ and Migs Mornings, 99.9 KISW.
On Friday, Steve did get this one right.
What are the two highest valued letters in Scrabble?
Oh, F and U.
No.
Q and X?
No.
Q and Z?
Yes.
Oh, nice going, buddy.
Figured it out, baby.
Yeah, you did. You want a shot at beating Steve? All right, you have it right now. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs. We'll do that at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I figure out who my creditors are?
Some people, a lot of times, have had a long time of not having good credit and having collections, and so they're concerned that You may be concerned that you won't be able to find all your creditors if you file bankruptcy. How will I know which collection agency has my credit card bill from 10 years ago now? And that's something that's hard to keep track of because credit collection agencies transfer your debts all over the place. But we will pull all your credit bureaus, and by getting all three of your credit bureaus, we'll be able to tell who has your credit and debt now, which collection agencies have had it in the past, and we'll make sure that we file all your creditors when we file your bankruptcy so that nothing slips through the cracks.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.